Good afternoon, everybody. I am Jamie the Psychic, and I wanted to make a video about something that I do pretty much every day with my clients. And I did not create this. It's not something that I developed, but it's a very, very special type of therapy that you can do for yourself anytime that you have a conflict with another person, a group of people, or even the whole world. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, a Hawaiian-based therapy called Huna, H-U-N-A, or something along the lines of Ho'opo'ono. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it doesn't matter. You can look that up online. But basically the premise of this type of therapy is that as we are vibrational beings, you are creating vibration. So let me give you a brief explanation of that. Every time you think a thought, immediately that thought becomes an emotion, positive or perceived negative. That emotion, if you think the thought for over 17 seconds scientifically, becomes a vibration that's emitted out into the world. Now, imagine that the emotion that you're feeling is anger, hurt, frustration, disappointment, anything that, for example, does not feel good to you, okay? And let's say that that emotion, because of the thought you had, is aimed at someone else. So let's say you get in an argument with a neighbor and things just turn south really quickly. Everything that you think becomes that vibration that then goes. And it actually is like walking right up to your neighbor and slapping them across the face with energy, okay? So accepting that, if you look back on your whole life, okay, at some point you've gotten mad in traffic, you've flipped somebody off, you called somebody a name, you've been angry at times when maybe you found out later you were in the wrong. Doesn't matter. There are times where we have all put a negative, hurtful vibration out into the universe. Energy is energy. Once it exists, it exists. So the premise of Huna or Ho'opo'ono is that you take your conscious mind and say, okay, I have in my life somehow put out energy that has created this situation. I often say to my clients, you could walk into a bar and someone could slap you right across the face. Total stranger. And in my world, I would say, okay, somehow I created that. And when you take the responsibility for everything that comes toward you, the beautiful part is any situation you don't like, you can change if you're the one that created it. We can talk about that in another video. But for the purpose of this video, I want to teach you a little exercise. And some people, when I do this, especially if they're really angry because someone else has done something very hurtful to them, they go, oh no, are you kidding me? And I say, just listen. So here's what I want you to write down. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. Might want to hit the pause button. Got it? Okay. Here's what you write on the piece of paper. 1, I love you, comma. 2, you don't have to put the numbers, just I love you, comma. Thank you. 3, please forgive me, or and I'm sorry. And you can say this in any order. What I want you to imagine is, let's say that you're arguing with your neighbor, as we used in the previous example, and your neighbor, their dog keeps pooping on your lawn and it just makes you so angry, and the neighbor just doesn't care. And in fact, they're looking for ways to cause you trouble. They call the police every time you have, you know, your elderly grandparents over to play bridge. Point being is they really are not a big fan of yours. And you're not a big fan of theirs, but you don't like the feeling, okay? And this can apply to any situation where there's negativity between people. What I want you to imagine is a small stage in your mind, okay? I like to close my eyes when I do this, but I do it a lot when I'm driving, so I wouldn't close your eyes then. But you know, the point is really focus. Imagine the stage. And now imagine little 3-inch tall, we'll call him Mr. Jones, okay? Mr. and Mrs. Jones are on the stage. So in your mind, picture them right on the stage. And I want you to look at them, little tiny 3-inch them, and they're just standing there with their arms at their side. And I want you to say to them, hey, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. Please forgive me, thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, in any order. And I want you to keep saying that until in a few minutes, sometimes it's 2 or 3 times. I can do it now in 1 or 2 repetitions. Might take you 15 minutes, 3 or 4 days in a row, but here's what happens. You are now changing beautifully the vibration that previously was causing all this friction. So now you're neutralizing that vibration. You're not saying, I'm sorry for anything you've actually done, because hopefully you've said that in person. This is usually for people that you can't resolve things with. You're not saying, please forgive me, because you're the one that pooped on their lawn. Hopefully not. You're saying it because you're taking responsibility that as a vibrational being, at some point in your life, you've created that vibration and it is coming back at you, just like a boomerang, okay? Kind of like the law of karma. Now, you will be astounded at what happens next. If you do this on a regular basis with this particular entity or person, I love you, excuse me, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. And pretty soon, you're gonna feel this beautiful, loving emotion well up within you. And you don't feel mad at them anymore. That's when you know you've got it right. You do this, and within sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes even days, your situation will resolve so quickly it will blow your mind. The person that hated your guts will be saying, hey, why don't you guys come to dinner next week? Let's talk about this. Let's be friends again. They don't even know why. All they know is you're not dancing anymore. You stopped the vibration that was creating the dysfunctional dance. And this works beautifully in relationships. It works with your children. Sometimes when I found myself at odds with a teenager, technically I helped to raise 8 children, 3 of my own, 2 stepchildren, and my brother's 3 that always lived next door. There were many times where there was conflict with me and one of the kids. I would sit quietly, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. And within just a few minutes, we would just restore that love and it would come back again. If you have any questions, obviously there's a little more to it, and when I'm with a client, I explain it a little further and I tailor it to their particular situation. But many, many clients over the years have reported back that within no time at all, horrible work situations, relationship issues with their spouse, parents, siblings, friends, anyone. It can be the mailman, it doesn't matter. You can even do this with your pets. The point being is, take responsibility for the vibration that you create every day. You're human. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna get ugly. You're gonna be the one that makes that vibration that doesn't feel good. But you don't have to leave it out there. I am Jamie the Psychic. I hope you've enjoyed this very short moment of therapy that you can do for yourself. Again, it's called Huna, H-U-N-A. I am www.jamiethepsychic.com. Also, watch my videos and my Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram for my randoms. Basically, a random is an instant reading that comes to me. It could be anyone in the world. The next one just may be for you. Until next time, you are enough. I love you. Hug a total stranger and laugh until it hurts. Have a great day. I love you. Not sure if you can see that, but that is the Ace of Swords. In my readings, the Ace of Swords always indicates someone who is getting a brand new beginning in what formerly was a negative emotion. Love this. So this is going to be one that I would almost call a love random. Let's see who this person is. Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups often comes up as my card. This is a woman who's usually very spiritual.